I wake to sunlight and regret. My head is pounding, my mouth tastes like something died in it, and I have absolutely no idea where I am. I blink at the unfamiliar ceiling, the elegant light fixtures, the expensive looking furniture. This is not my apartment. Memories from last night start filtering back in terrible, mortifying pieces. The team gathering, drinking too much, namchi. Oh God, namchi. I sit up too quickly and the room spins. I'm still fully clothed, which is a relief, but I'm in a hotel room, which is less of one. You're awake. I nearly jump out of my skin. Namchi is sitting in an armchair near the window, looking completely composed, despite presumably spending the night here. He's wearing the same clothes from yesterday, though his shirt is more wrinkled now, sleeves still rolled up. I. What? Where? I can't seem to form complete sentences. You got drunk at the team gathering. I brought you here because you couldn't tell me your address. His voice is matter of fact, devoid of judgment. Nothing happened. You fell asleep almost immediately. Relief wars with embarrassment. I'm so sorry. This is so unprofessional. I didn't mean to. It's fine, he interrupts. These things happen. Do they happen to you? The question comes out before I can stop it. Something flickers across his face. No, of course not. Namchi probably never loses control, never drinks too much, never does anything that isn't calculated and intentional. I should go, I say, swinging my legs off the bed. My head protests vigorously, but I ignore it. Thank you for taking care of me, and I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Wait, I freeze halfway to standing. He's looking at me with an intensity I've never seen directed my way before, and it pins me in place. Last night, before you passed out, you said something. He pauses, and I have no idea what's coming next. You said you've been working at NAM Enterprises for 8 months. Yes? And that you've noticed me 47 times. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. I said that out loud. My voice comes out as a squeak. You did. I want the floor to open up and swallow me whole. This is worse than every worst-case scenario I imagined. Not only did I get drunk in front of my boss, not only did he have to take care of me, but apparently drunk. Me decided to confess my creepy stalker tendencies. I can explain, you've been counting. It's not a question. Yes, but not in a weird way. Or, okay, maybe it's a little weird, but I wasn't like stalking you or anything. I just noticed when you were around. And I may have been keeping track. Casually. Very casually. I'm making this so much worse. Namchi stands, and suddenly the space between us feels very small. He's taller than me by several inches, and I have to tilt my head back to maintain eye contact. Why? He asks simply. Because I have a hopeless crush on you. Because you're all I think about. Because I've spent months imagining what it would be like if you saw me as something other than just another employee. But I can't say any of that. Not now. Probably not ever. I should go, I repeat, moving toward the door. See one. The sound of my name in his voice stops me in my tracks. He's never said it before. Not like this. Not directly to me. It sounds different than I imagined, softer somehow. You're not in trouble, he continues. I'm not going to fire you or report you or anything like that. But I am curious. I turn to face him slowly. Curious about what? About why you've been watching me? My face is burning now. I told you. I just noticed 47 times, he repeats. That's not casual noticing. That's intentional attention. There's no escape from this. He's not going to let it go, and lying is clearly pointless. So I take a deep breath and decide that if I'm going to humiliate myself, I might as well do it completely. Fine. Yes, I was paying attention. Because the words stick in my throat. Because I find you interesting, and impressive, and attractive. The silence that follows is excruciating. Namchi's expression doesn't change, but something in his eyes sharpens, focuses. You're attracted to me, he states flatly. Yes, I whisper, because there's no point denying it now. You're aware that I'm your boss. very aware, and that I don't do workplace relationships. I wasn't expecting anything, I say quickly. I know it's inappropriate. I know you're way out of my league. I wasn't trying to pursue you or make things awkward. I was just, I don't know, admiring from a distance. Pathetically. I expect him to say something dismissive, to shut me down gently but firmly. Instead, he tilts his head slightly, studying me with that intense focus. How old are you? 24. And you've been with men before? The question catches me off guard. I, why does that matter? Have you? I've dated, I say defensively. A few times, nothing serious. That's not what I asked. Understanding dawns, and with it, a fresh wave of embarrassment. You're asking if I'm experienced, he supplies. No, I admit, my voice barely audible. I'm not. I've never, with anyone. The silence this time is different, heavier. Namchi's expression shifts into something I can't quite read. You're a virgin. It's not a question, but I nod anyway, feeling about 12 years old. And you have a crush on your significantly older, emotionally unavailable boss. When you put it like that, it sounds even more pathetic than it already is. Something that might be amusement crosses his face. It's not pathetic, it's just complicated. I know, which is why I never said anything. I wasn't planning to. I would have been perfectly content just admiring from afar and never acting on it. I give him a weak smile. But then I got drunk and ruined everything. So here we are. Here we are, he echoes. I move toward the door again, needing to escape this conversation before I somehow manage to make things even worse. I really should go. Thank you again for taking care of me last night. It won't happen again. Siwon. I pause, hand on the doorknob. Do you want it to happen again? I turn slowly, not sure I heard him correctly. What? He's moved closer, close enough that I can see the fine lines at the corners of his eyes, the precise way his hair falls across his forehead. Last night. Do you want something like that to happen again? I I don't understand what you're asking. I think you do. My heart is hammering against my ribs. Are you are you saying you want I'm saying that I'm not in the market for a relationship, he says carefully. I don't do romance. I don't do dating, and I certainly don't do workplace entanglements, but but you're here, and you've been honest with me, and there's something. He pauses, seeming to choose his words carefully. There's something about you that I find intriguing. Intriguing, I repeat numbly. Yes. He takes another step closer, and now I can feel the heat radiating from him. But I need you to understand something. If anything were to happen between us, it would be purely physical. No feelings, no expectations, no complications, just sex, I finish, my voice coming out rougher than intended. Yes, I should say no. This is a terrible idea on every conceivable level. He's my boss. He's explicitly telling me he doesn't want anything emotional. And I'm a hopeless romantic who's never even been with anyone before. This is a recipe for heartbreak, and I know it. But when I look at him, standing there in the morning light, looking like every fantasy I've ever had come to life, I find myself saying something completely different. Okay. His eyes widen slightly, the first genuine surprise I've ever seen from him. Okay? Yes, I take a shaky breath. I know it's not what I imagined. I know it's not a relationship or anything like that. But I want to experience something with you, even if it's just physical. You're a virgin, he says again, like he's reminding both of us. I know, but maybe that doesn't have to matter. He studies me for a long moment, and I can see him weighing options, calculating risks. Finally, he seems to come to a decision. If we do this, he says slowly, we do it my way. That means discretion, boundaries, and clear communication. No one at work can know. We keep it completely separate from our professional relationship. I understand. And you need to tell me if you change your mind or if it becomes too much or if you want to stop at any point. Okay, I'm serious, Siwon. I don't want to hurt you, but I also need you to be realistic about what this is and what it isn't. I understand, I repeat more firmly this time. I'm not expecting you to fall in love with me or anything. I just, I want this. I want you, even if it's just temporary. Something in his expression softens just slightly. You're sure? Number. I'm absolutely not sure. This is probably the worst decision I've ever made, and I'm going to regret it spectacularly. But I nod anyway. Then come here, he says quietly. I take a step forward, then another, until we're nearly touching. My heart is racing so fast, I'm surprised it doesn't burst through my chest. This is really happening. Namchi is really standing in front of me, looking at me like I'm something he wants. He reaches out, his hand cupping my jaw with surprising gentleness. His thumb brushes across my cheekbone, and I shiver. Have you kissed anyone before? He asks. A few times, but not like this. Not with someone I actually wanted, he finishes. Yes. He leans in slowly, giving me time to pull away if I want to. I don't want to. I've never wanted anything more than I want this kiss. When his lips meet mine, it's soft at first, almost tentative. But then I make a small sound in the back of my throat and something shifts. His other hand comes to my waist, pulling me closer, and the kiss deepens. It's nothing like the awkward kisses I've experienced before. This is consuming, overwhelming, perfect. He tastes like coffee and something darker, and I feel it in every nerve ending. My hands come up to grip his shirt, needing something to anchor me. He pulls back first, and I hear myself actually whimper at the loss. We should slow down, he says, his voice rougher than before. Why? I'm breathless, clinging to him like he's the only solid thing in the world. Because you're inexperienced, and we're in a hotel room, and I don't want you to regret this. I won't regret it. You don't know that. I know that I want more, I say boldly. I know that I've been thinking about this for months. I know that if you send me home now, I'm going to spend the rest of my life wondering what could have happened. He searches my face, and I can see the internal debate happening behind his eyes. Finally, he seems to reach a decision. All right, he says, but we do this properly. Not rushed, not because you're emotional or drunk or caught up in the moment. I'm not drunk anymore. No, but you're still processing a lot. So here's what's going to happen. He releases me, taking a step back, and I immediately miss his warmth. You're going to go home. You're going to think about whether this is really what you want. And if you decide it is, then we'll talk about it again. But this isn't a rejection, C1. This is me making sure you're certain. Because once we cross this line, there's no going back to the way things were before. He's right, of course. I hate that he's right, but he is. Okay, I concede reluctantly. I'll think about it. Good. He pulls out his phone. I'm going to call you a car. Go home, rest, recover from your hangover. We'll talk later. The car arrives within minutes, because of course, Namchi has access to private car services. He walks me down to the lobby, maintaining a professional distance now that we're in public. But I can still feel the electricity between us. Thank you, I say as we reach the car. For everything. Take care of yourself, he replies. And there's something in his voice that makes me think he means more than just recovering from alcohol. The drive home is a blur. I spend the entire time replaying everything that happened, unable to believe it's real. Namchi kissed me. He wants me. This is actually happening. But as I step into my small apartment and catch sight of myself in the mirror, disheveled, confused, completely out of my depth, reality starts to sink in. What am I doing? The next few days are torture. I call in sick on Monday, unable to face the office yet. Min-jae texts me repeatedly, worried about where I disappeared to on Friday night, but I can't bring myself to tell him the truth. How do I explain that I got drunk? My boss took me to a hotel, and now we have some kind of arrangement that might involve us sleeping together. I spend most of Monday lying in bed, alternating between excitement and terror. Every time I think about Namchi's lips on mine, I feel a thrill run through me. But then I remember his words. No feelings, no expectations, just physical. And uncertainty creeps in. Can I really do that? Can I separate my emotions from the physical act? I've been in love with the idea of him for months now. How do I keep that from bleeding into something more? Tuesday, I force myself to go to work. I wear my most professional outfit, armor against whatever awkwardness awaits. Minjae ambushes me the moment I sit down. Where did you disappear to on Friday? He demands. One minute you were there, the next, you were gone. I was worried. I got sick, I say, which isn't entirely a lie. I went home early. You could have told me. I would have helped you. I know, I'm sorry. Everything happened so fast. He studies me suspiciously. You're acting weird. I'm not. You are. Did something happen? Everything. Nothing. I have no idea anymore. I'm fine, I insist. Just still recovering. He doesn't look convinced, but thankfully he drops it. The day passes in agonizing slowness. Every time someone walks past, I look up, half expecting to see Nam Chi, but he doesn't appear. By the time 5 o'clock rolls around, I'm wound so tight I might snap. That's when my phone buzzes with a message from an unknown number. It's Nam Chi. Do you have an answer for me?